Hey, what's up, guys? Roger here with the Real Breakdown. Today, guys, the day has finally come. Today, we're going to be talking about Avatar the Last Airbender. Yes, guys, today is February 22nd, which means that the Netflix series of Avatar the Last Airbender is officially coming out today. I believe it is out already. I haven't watched it yet, but as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm just going to be giving you my initial thoughts on like what my expectations are for this show going into it. And yes, I'm going to be watching the show. Hopefully, I will be able to kind of, I don't know, maybe I'll do some reactions to the show. Maybe I'll do a review of each episode. But regardless, I am going to be watching the show. And guys, I'm super excited. If you don't know already, I am a huge Avatar the Last Airbender fan. For me personally, it is probably the best show I've ever seen, animated or live action. Here are what kind of my expectations going into this are. Now, being such a huge fan of the original animated series, it's something that has been a huge part of my life. And so, having watched it so many times, going into it, I'm going to try to remove the whole comparison of comparing it to the animated and did they get it line for line. It's gonna be hard, obviously, but going into this show, obviously it's Netflix. We know that there was some issue with the creators and they decided to walk away. We know all that. We've been expecting and waiting for this show. We've seen some trailers. I don't believe I did a reaction for the trailers on this channel, but what I can tell you is that I was both excited and a bit underwhelmed by the trailers. The biggest thing for me kind of going into this show that I have a little bit of concern with is the CGI. I feel that some of the CGI shown in the trailers was pretty bad, especially for characters like Appa and Momo. So that's something that, look, I'm going to go in hoping to really enjoy the show, but looking at the CGI from the trailer, I'm a little nervous about that. But aside from that, I think that going into it, I'm very hopeful and encouraged by a lot of the casting they've done. I think that the characters that they've gotten look pretty good. I think from the trailer, there were a few questionable ones where you're like, they look kind of young, but I'm going to set all that aside because obviously seeing small snippets of these characters, for example, like Azula was one that I was like, that just doesn't look like Azula to me, but it's going to matter how they play the character, how they play the role. So I am going to go into it with hope, with optimism, but I am also going to go into it as a fan, right? So I know what the Avatar, The Last Airbender story is. I know what that journey looks like. And if I feel like they're not going to that they're not hitting the mark on that, I will say it. In the end, guys, this to me, I'm just excited because this is one of those shows that I think, yes, it's a cult classic and a lot of people love it and it has a great following, but I still don't think a lot of people have, like, not everyone has seen this show. And I think this show is that good to where it does deserve to be seen by everyone. So, uh, going into it, I'm excited for the characters, the world, the costuming looks great. I'm excited for just seeing what else can this group, this cast, this crew add to what we already know about Avatar The Last Airbender, right? I do foresee, I would be totally okay if they went ahead and changed some of the original story, right? I don't need it to be exactly the same. But you do have to stick with the core elements, right? You do have to make sure that Aang starts at a certain point, shows some growth, and then gets to another point. Same with characters like Zuko, same with characters like Sokka, right? Like, one of my favorite things about the original show is the amount of growth that you see from the first episode, and that first season feels so childlike, it feels so childish, and some people that might turn them off, but if you get through that first season and you get to season 2 and then you get to season 3 and by the finale, wow, you just see an incredible story and you see incredible character growth. And those are the two things that, as a movie fan, as a fan of storytelling, those are the most important things to me, right? Story and characters. Now, that's what I want to see. Whether these actors look exactly like them, whether they play them exactly like them, that is not necessarily the most important thing to me. Obviously, if you're going to have Sokka, you got to have him be funny and more like incidentally funny, not like forcefully funny. So the trailer, they did show one bit where I was like, all right, you're just trying to force a laugh out of me and whatever. But regardless, even if they don't nail some of those things, The biggest thing that I'm looking for going into this show is, can you nail the story? Can you nail the mythology? Can you nail the character, the character development? And are you going to get us, I mean, the story is going to get us from point A to point B, but how are you going to do it? Am I going to feel that depth? Am I going to care? Am I going to be able to feel the growth within that? So that to me is kind of the biggest thing. Whether the CGI is there or not, who knows? But the CGI is just something that can really take me out of it in the moment. But I don't think it's something that I'm going to be like, this is horrible because of this. Who knows? I could be wrong. But generally, guys, I'm hopeful. I'm excited. I can't wait to see this episode. Like I said, you might get to see my reaction or my review for it. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Avatar the Last Airbender, the live action series from Netflix, is here. We have 8 episodes to watch. We'll see how it goes. See you guys in the next one.